In this video, we will study IPv6 datagram format. Currently, in this generation, in countries like India, we are following IPv4. But in some countries, they are totally translated their infrastructure into IPv6. This is the latest technology used in the internet field. The major changes introduced in IPv6, they are the addressing capacity from 32-bit it is increased to 128-bit in IPv6 so that we are able to represent much more devices with varying range of IP addresses. We are able to locate 2 raised to 128 number of different IP addresses. We will study IP addressing in detail in next video. Right now you just remember the IPv4 is following 32-bit IP addressing, whereas IPv6 is following 128-bit addressing. Then another difference is IPv6 is streamlined to 40 bytes header, whereas in IPv4 there were no fixed length header. The header length was varying, but here it is fixed length. So the router can process the IP datagrams quicker than the previous case. Then another one is it is eliminating the concept of checksum computation in datagrams. This also reduces the processing overhead at the routers. So checksum computation is totally done at the transport layer and it is performed by the host itself. So the router's overhead is reduced and speed of processing at the router is also increased. Then fragmentation and reassembling is not done at the routers. These two activities are also performed at the upper layers, and so the entire processing of IPv6 will be faster than IPv4. Then here it is a frame format of IPv6 is given. Very less number of fields are there comparing to IPv4. The first field is VER version, which is similar to VER in IPv4. The value 6 means the IPv6 is used. If the value is 4, it means IPv4 is used. Similar to the IPv4, we explained in the previous video, IPv4 and IPv6 should be either any one of these, either IPv4 or IPv6 must be the version for the sender and the receiver. Then only they can exchange the data fragments or data graphs. Next field is traffic or the priority field, which specifies the priority of the fragments or priority of the datagrams. The priority field is similar to TOS, types of service. Depending on the type of the datagram, it specifies the priority of the datagram. The similar concept in the previous case. Then flow label. Here the labeling of the packets belong to a particular flow for which the sender requires special handling. For example, identify the datagrams in the same flow means audio files or continuous datagrams of the common audio file or the video file. These are flows. So, when a flow is there or continuous datagrams of the same flow files, then it is treated as a single priority version. So traditional applications like emails, they are not treated as flow. They will be a very less amount of size or less size only. So they can be carried with high priority and they are considered as a different type of packet. The next header field. This field identifies the protocol field. This is a protocol to which the content has to be delivered in the upper layer. Similar to the protocol field in the IPv4. The hop limit is similar to TTL in the IPv4. This content is decremented by 1 at each router. If the hop limit count reaches to 0, the datagram is automatically discarded from the network. Currently, we are in the transition period from IPv4 to IPv6. But if the sender and the receiver are using the common standard, that is either IPv4 or IPv6, then only the communication is possible. But some countries are following IPv6 and some countries are following IPv4. So in this transition period, we should be able to cope up with both the versions IPv4 and IPv6. So the solution for this is a process called tunneling. That is, we are integrating the higher version IPv6 inside IPv4, and IPv4 is the actual packet moving through the network. Here in this figure we can see IPv4 is the actual channel, but we are forced to do the IPv6. So the IPv6 packets are integrated in the IPv4 packets, and the moving packets are of type IPv4. We are not supposed to study this tunneling in detail, and it is not under our not there in the syllabus also. So I just mentioned what is the process of tunneling just for your information only.